It's so funny because I get compared to some comics, and it's like the thing that annoys me though is like every story I tell is like, I mean, obviously I change around facts and I not elaborate. What's it when you kind of like stretch the truth? Exaggerate. So I exaggerate things, but like and I'll tie two stories together sometimes. But for the most part, most of my premises are like pretty real premises. So like I was on I think it's Sunset or Melrose. I forget which one it is, but it's a Chipotle in LA on Sunset or Melrose. I think it's close to the Improv or the Factory. I don't forgot which one. But then the guy just goes, "Hey man," he's like, "You're he goes, you live around here?" I was like, "Nah." I'm moving here. I'm from Alabama. And he goes, "Oh," he's like, "You ever got in the adult industry?" And I was like, "No," because I think you could do well, man. There's like a guy like you would do well, like with other guys. And I was like, "What? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about?" And it's like, and he explained to me the whole thing that I watched a documentary about that tons of dudes that do gay porn are straight men. And like, and my whole life was like, and people go, that's a lie. Like what you said before. I'm like, no, none of this. Like, I got an offer. And like, then you figure out in LA that happens a lot more often than you think. Like, it happens very, very often there. When I got humped by the penguin, the same thing with that. That's a true story. I had the video of that one. Now, obviously, like I wasn't like talking to the penguin. That's a joke. But like I have a video of a penguin humping my leg. Like literally, he just walked out, hopped in my lap, and literally was humping my leg for like 10 minutes straight, and then just rolled over like he was tired. And it was like laying on his back, like, "Oh, that was a good one, dude."
That's hilarious. Man.
I love it when he goes like the fucking arms.
Dude. Yeah, literally, he was on top of me. It's like this right here is like you can go watch the video. It's at the end of the video on Instagram. I think I don't know if it's on YouTube, but like he's on me. He's like finishing, like flapping his arms, like he's like, "Oh yeah."
I love that bit. I love it. When you talk about, all right, you two, you're going home and you're going to do it. You're like, I don't know why this feels so good, but you look back. It's fucking
yeah. It's like, most of it's like the fight stuff, the gay porn thing, the penguin stuff. Some of my girlfriends, like, the arguments are true. Like, since like, a lot of that stuff is pretty much fake because the truth's funny. Like, I mean, obviously you can elaborate things and things you don't have the perfect answer in the moment that you write later, but there's still like tons of like, I feel like sticking to the truth is the best thing because then it makes you like explore the truth more and like it makes it fun. There's something like Nate Bargatze said, if something's too perfect, it's not really funny. It's like we know you didn't really say that. Like we know that's too perfect for you to say that exactly. Yeah. So it's like when you kind of stick to the truth, it makes you elaborate more on the truth, which is funnier. You find out a lot of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, and it's funny. So you're obviously from Alabama. When I lived in Atlanta. This is a sidebar conversation. But when I lived in Atlanta for a little bit, I met someone from Alabama, and one of my favorite movies is Forrest Gump. So I was always like, I'm like, "Hey, how's Greenbow, Alabama?" And she's like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, Greenbow, Alabama. You're like, go home. And Forrest Gump. She's like, "That doesn't exist. That's fake." And like my heart was broken. I was like, Wait, what? There's no Greenbow, Alabama. What does my life come to?
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever comes across your way, but that was like some sidebar conversation. I've only met two people from Alabama. One was in Atlanta and you. And I was like, I'm going to ask her about Greenbow, Alabama, how it was with Forrest Gump. And she's like, that was all fake. It was shot in Savannah, Georgia. And I was like,
yeah.
Bitch. I was like, fuck, man.
Oh, that's the funniest thing about society, again, is when you meet a guy from Boston, and you're like, so, the janitors, it's like everyone references.
Yeah.
It's like, Alabama is Forrest Gump. Then you have like, if you meet an Italian guy, you're like, Gabagoosh.
Gabagoo. I'm walking
I'm funny. Here. I'm funny to you. I'm funny. You find me funny. Like, it's like, it's that kind of, it's so funny the different, you meet people, you're like, yeah, it's not how it is.
Yeah. when I was in Atlanta, I'm from New York. I'm Italian, so everyone's like, "Are you in the mafia?" And I'm like,
"Dude, yes."
I'm like, you see my last name? I'm only half Italian. My last name is nowhere near Italian, but I have all my Italian traits. But everyone thinks you're in the mafia. You wear a suit, you wear a hat. Like, "Oh, you in the mafia? You in the mafia?" I'm like,
dude, my girlfriend's family still to this day, we've been dating. It's gonna be 5 years now in December, and they still think that I'm like connected somehow. Just because I'm from New York. When I went down, they're like, "You in a mob?" And I just, it's funny because they ask it, and I don't say I am, but I don't say I'm not. So I just kind of they go,
can't talk about it.
Yeah, they say, so like, do you like Nopi? I go, I'm like,
can't talk to outsiders.
Change the stuff. They go, just Change it. So I never said anything, but I never said I was. And then to this day, they still think.
My buddy from Texas, who I still talk to, my buddy from down in Dallas, he's like, oh my God, he's hilarious. That dude, he can be a comedian himself. I lived in Atlanta. I was part of this AT&T sales program, and I had this dude from North Carolina, and my buddy, who I still talk to from Dallas, is Mexican, and this is like right when Donald Trump was going for president, and this guy had a picture of him hunting, like just with his buddies or whatever. And my buddy Edgar from Texas, who's Mexican, he goes, "Man, what y'all hunting, Mexicans?" And like at the time, like it was way different. Like what was that, 5 years ago? The whole fucking room was erupting. But I'm like, I think about it now. I'm like, man, if he said that now, like even though he's Mexican, people would be like, "Oh, I'm going to HR. I'm going to HR for that. You can't say that." But he's like,
I'm gonna cancel you.
What are y'all hunting, Mexicans? And I'm like, dude, that is too fucking funny, man.
I think I have one of the best Trump jokes of all time. There's been a bunch of them are extremely hack. They kind of ruin Trump jokes. They just the same thing. Every late night show had the same joke. His hair is orange. His hair is fake. His skin's orange. He's a oompa loompa or whatever the fuck they said. A million times. But mine was I can always tell when someone's not from the South because they'll be like, Donald Trump is the most racist person I know. And I'm like, well, you need to meet more racist people then because he's not in the top 50 on my mom's side of the family, And that's like, I think that's like one of the best jokes because to me, it's like, it hits like both sides of where like, I'm not saying he's not racist. I'm not saying, I kind of mock both sides. Like I mock like conservatives and liberals at the same time. Yeah. But that's what's funny about that bit is conservative and liberals both hate me. So like
you're doing something right there.
It's a funny bit, and you go on like both sides, and it's like, listen, I don't care what side it's a joke. It's a funny joke. Like that's hilarious.
What we need is people like me in America because I had conservatives and liberals both agreeing that they don't like each other, but they agreed on hating me. And I was like, that's what we need to bring this country together is people that everyone can hate. And I was like, I'm so glad I was able to do it. Like I had one, that clip it had 400,000 likes on TikTok. It went viral on TikTok of me doing that bit. And I had these two guys, they commented back and forth. They commented 1,000 comments between themselves. Okay. 1,000 comments, just them. Okay. 1,000 comments, and they were both talking politics, right, against each other. One was a far, far left. One was a far, far right. And at the end, they both just go, yeah, well, at least we can agree we hate this fucking guy, right? And they're like, yeah, that's true. And I'm just like, I commented, I go, hey guys, thank y'all so much for y'all's conversation, for making this go viral. I really, really appreciate it.
Dude, it's funny you said, because I say the same thing to like, because my sister was starting to do her TikTok streaming thing with video games. And I say the same thing. Anytime somebody comments like the negative shit, or they try to hate comment on you on your thing, and they go back and forth, I'll always just like, for instance, whenever we post something, you always get the comments of people like, "Oh, you want to promote it on user 1234556, whatever," and I say, "You want to promote on here?" Or, "Hey, I invested in Bitcoin." All the spam stuff. So I found this one person commented, "Hey, do you want to promote?" And I go, "Oh, really? I can promote on your thing?" And it was a bot. Like they responded to, every time I commented, they automatically responded. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to just fucking blow up the comment section. So I would respond to everything, and they would respond again. So I'm like, thanks for commenting. Boom, you want to promote? Thanks for commenting. Boom. So I'm like just blowing up my own comments. I go, this is great. Yeah. Thanks for just blowing up the engagement. Like I don't even care if you guys are fighting, but you're blowing up the engagement.
That's what it's all about. Do you?
That's what I do on my Instagram a lot. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do you like, I don't think you do, but do you like worry about like this whole cancel culture stuff, like stuff that you say? Do you like hold back from things you say, or you're like, nah, just fuck it all?
I mean, I have some opportunities now that we discussed, but so I don't hold back anything, but I've changed a couple things around. I won't lie to you, because I'm like, let's get this one out of the way, and then we'll let it ride after, But no, I really don't, man. I don't think there's I think anything can be done if it's funny and if it's well done. And I think I have a good respect. I think the good thing about me is I travel. So like, I don't say, I guess, stuff that's like fucked up, in the sense of like, because I know like some of my best friends are people in the industry, and the industry is full of there's trans people, there's gay people, there's black people, there's Mexican, there's Asians. So I don't say stuff that I wouldn't say in front of them.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I feel like a bunch of people write jokes behind the screen, not realizing how it would affect their friends. And thankfully, I have friends though that really don't care. And so, this may sound dumb, but let's say someone, I got called homophobic for the Chipotle joke, right? I got called homophobic for that several times, and it's not homophobic at all.
Yeah, I find that that's part of the bit. I think that's hilarious. You're like, well, you clearly have the definition of homophobic wrong because
yeah. So it's like if someone took that and it got, let's say it went viral for being homophobic, right? You're gonna do nothing to me. My agent will drop me. That's what they have to do. It's kind of like their thing. They'll drop me, and then I'll go up in Twitter followers, Instagram followers by 100,000 because everyone will see it and they'll like the bit and they'll just come to my page and I'll get a new agent in 2 months. Right. You know, so you really don't have to unless you do something heinous like we talked about earlier. You don't have to really censor yourself. Just be a regular person. People that do shock value stuff, and I have some friends that do that, and I'm not against it. It's just not my thing. Like, I don't say stuff for shock value. So if someone gets offended by something I've said, especially, I'm like, you're just being dumb. Because there's no hate at all coming out of any of this, and pretty much all of it's funny. So I really, the cancel culture thing, I think it affects people that are in television, and I'm not, and I'll never be again, right? So so if someone gets offended about something I say, I'm like, okay, I don't care, dude. Like, no one cares. Yeah. No one cares what I think. And I'm like popular. No one cares what you think at all. And it's like, so you think this is homophobic? Cool. Share it. Share it and tell everyone it's homophobic. And ask your friends to share it and tell everyone they're homophobic. I live in Texas. I tour the road. I do no TV shows. So you have no control over someone like me. I'm fine. And I'll be fine forever. So I think that people that get caught up in cancel culture is people that are trying to do television stuff. Don't get me wrong, like the censorship online has gotten out of control, and that's something that does scare me a little bit. But that's why I've been so digital about my podcast, because I do Welcome to Brookwood. Yeah. It's my podcast, and me and Tony Casillas. And so we do that, and I'm very adamant on that now, as making that like my primary source of entertainment for people, because that way we don't have to deal with shadow banning. Like, even TikTok. I made a video today about TikTok's community guidelines, and they literally took it down. So it's like, that's TikTok how crazy.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So like TikTok changed my life. Like, the Kevin Hart clip is what made my Instagram go viral. So I had a Kevin Hart clip get 1.6 million likes, and that flowed over to my Instagram, which then blew up my Instagram, which is the reason The Rock follows me. So I'm thankful for it. But it's just gotten out of control. But then you learn with guys like Andrew Schultz. Like, Andrew says some wild shit. Like, Andrew says stuff where I'll be listening to the podcast and I'm like, bruh. I'm like, what was that, dude? Like, one more time for me real quick, and he'll say some stuff that's wild, but he doesn't answer to anyone. You can't. That's a guy that you can't shut down his podcast, you can't stop his email list, and you could try to do all of it, he would still shine. And that's the level I want to get to. You don't have to answer anyone, because what you learn is truly no one gives a fuck about what you said. They really, really don't.
Yeah.
And if they did, they never liked you in the first place.
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of like, I remember Ralphie May had said this when because he had a special where I think it was Politically Correct. I think it was the special that he had done where it was like everybody's a blank American nowadays, right? Yeah. And he was roasting everybody, just going on all different kinds of people, right? And there was a thing that he had said during the where he said, you know what, listen, some of you guys are mad at me right now. He goes, you understand, it's just a fucking joke. He goes, it's just a joke. Yeah. You got to learn to laugh and like relax, okay? It's just a fucking joke. And he said and he was roasting, I'm telling you, roasting everybody, saying like some outlandish shit, and it was all fucking hilarious, right? And he was making fun of himself and making fun of this guy, making fun of that guy, And he's like, it's just a fucking joke. Like, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, just watch it for what it is.
Yeah. Laugh
at it because it's funny and move on with your fucking life. If you're getting pissed off about something that you're saying or something that he said or something that said, it's like it has nothing to do with the person right there. It's got everything to do with your own self because you're probably pissed off about some bullshit that happened in your life, or that's just the way that you freaking think, and you're looking for a scapegoat to freak out on, and this happened to be the person of the day.
That's why I don't get when people go to comedy shows and they get pissed off. I'm like, well, what do you expect? Like,
it's just a joke, man.
Well, I mean, I got 1.5 million likes out of one girl that got upset, so I love it when y'all come to comedy shows and get fucking upset. I'm a big fan. Love it.
Punch me in the face. And then
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm just talking about from like from that lady who got mad, like was mad at like whoever.
Yeah, no, that girl. So yes, I had one girl come to the show and she talked, and I just told her to be quiet, and she just kind of kept going. And then I just was like, all right, are we good? Just stop talking. And I kind of tried to move on from it. And then she got like offended that I like made fun of her, and I kind of just lost it. I was like, this is my problem with white people. Because I feel like it's always people. A lot of people got upset when I say white people. Again, I don't give a fuck. But it's like I say white people in the context of comedy shows because it's usually 99.9% of the time it's white women, mostly like mid 30s, early 40s that get upset. Like that's the demographic.
That sounds pretty accurate.
And they always feel like they deserve to be upset, and they have no right. You're at a comedy show. You're at a private thing. You know, it's like you're here to see me. You paid money. And if you don't like it, that's your fucking fault. You should have did your research, listen to the podcast. And I gave an opportunity to stop talking. And I found that lady was a bitch to the wait staff anyway, so I don't like her in general. But I posted that clip of me going off on her. Everybody fucking loved it. And what I love is a bunch of black people because they have dealt with white people in a different way, than I've dealt with them in my life. And so black people were like, thank you, dude. They go, this is what we fucking deal with all the time. Yeah. And so now I have like that's what I love about my show. My shows are great because if I have no black people at my show and I'm making fun of a black person, that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Right.
It looks weird.
Yeah, that's true.
But like I did New York the other day and I had people from Uruguay there. I had people from New York. I had people from Texas. I had black people. I had Muslim people. So I had all this different collection of people. And you can make fun of everyone there because everyone's in the room and then everyone's having a good time and they know what it is. If you're just going in on one side, that's what's so funny about comedy now. It's bad comedy. But you see these people that mostly Comedy Central's pushing. They push the worst most times. Like they get a couple good ones in there, but most time they're pushing the people that are woke, Yeah. And like their whole set's mocking white people. And I'm like, and then they wonder why they don't sell tickets. I'm like, yeah, dude. Because you're going to the middle of the country, it's full of white people, and also full of black people that also just like to laugh, and all you're doing is woke bullshit that no one likes, and that's why you did that fucking Brooklyn open mic for 15 people, and like it's crazy. Like people, it's the people, the market is so funny to me that how just bad all these TV shows, like all the money they put behind like all this shit. Like think about it, Joe Rogan fucking does steroids and eats an elk every day raw, right? And then just fucking works out naked and does pull-ups on his dick, okay? and he has more viewers than all the late night shows combined off probably one podcast. I would guess one, maybe two a week, but he probably has more off one. And it's like, that's just a regular dude. Do you know why? Because he's just a regular guy. People appreciate authenticity.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon, we know you're not like that. We know you're not like that. We know you love to have some drinks, buddy. Okay? So just be yourself. Break out a fucking drink on air and sit there and just talk. Don't fucking do the same Trump bullshit over and over. We've heard it. His hair is fucking fake. We know it's fake. Move on, bitch. Have fun. It's so ridiculous to me. And they wonder why these...
Yeah, it gets played out. It's the same shit over and over again. It's like, listen, I've already seen this shit 9 times from 9 different networks. It's not original. I'm not going to... It was funny the first time. It's not funny the 10th time.
Yeah, man.
Dude, Comedy Central could come to me right now. They could come to me right now. And they could offer me an hour special for $500,000. I would say no. Like, I would say no. They could offer probably $1 million. I may take $1 million just because that's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But I would probably still say no because I'm like, you're just going to ruin this. Because you're going to take it. You won't give it to me to post, so I can't post it online. You're going to take it and ruin it. And no one's going to watch it because you put out such shit content for so long. It's like you put out this bullshit that, like, I love. The funniest thing I love, because I've done a lot in television. On the stand-up side, I haven't done as much. Like, I've never done a half hour for Comedy Central or anything like that. I know someone that's done a Netflix 15. They've done 5 Comedy Central shows, done a Comedy Central half hour, and they can't sell 20 tickets in Philly. So it's like, yeah, dude, that's what happens because no one likes you. You're not likable. You remind people of like negativity, because you're just always upset about whatever white person is doing this. We get it. You don't like crackers. I don't like crackers a lot either, but I also mock everyone. You're just stuck in your little fucking ways. But it's so funny because it's dead though. It's completely dead. You don't have to worry about those people at all anymore. Like, I got in trouble one time. I tweeted. I had a booker of a late night show. And he came up to me at a festival, and I was like drunk. I was drunk at this comedy festival. That's how I've always been. You go to comedy festivals, all the acts sitting there. Hey, what's up? I'm blah 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 blah. And I wrote a script. I think you guys would like it for a pilot episode. I'm drunk with a bottle of fucking tequila in the middle of the room. My shirt's off. I swear to God. Like I'm in the West End, just being like, hey. Right? And I've done more TV shows than all those fucking nerds. So I was this booker of this show.
Oh, it's fucking. He called the cops
fucking
nerds,
dude.
That's great.
Yeah, everybody's fucking nerd, dude. So this booker walks up to me on this late night show, and he goes, "You're an idiot." And I was like, "It's good to see you too." Like, what's up? He goes, "Bro, you're so dumb." I was like, "All right, we get it. You don't like me." I was like, "What's the issue?" He goes, "You can't tweet stuff like this." So he pulls out a tweet, screenshot it. Like 6 months prior, where I had tweeted, I just watched the Fallon and Myers monologue, and all it was shitty Trump jokes. And he goes, "You can't say stuff like this. I can't book you if you say stuff like this." And I was like, "Dude, you weren't booking me anyway."
Yeah.
And
so
then what does it matter?
He tried to like big dick me, right? And I was like, kind of like, and I don't do well with that. This is when I was still fighting. Okay.
You're like, listen, I'm half a bottle of tequila down. You don't want to say this shit right now.
My dick's huge right now.
My dick's big right now.
Right. Look, Justin, there's big changes. Okay. So, and I go, it's like I said, up to him, I go, "Bro, are you saying the fucking monologues don't suck?" He goes, "No." It's like, they do suck, but you can't say that. And I go, "No, bitch. You can't say that." And then he keeps getting on my ass, and like all the industry is like all mad at me that week. And I'm like, "I'm fucking sorry, dude. I'm fucking sorry." And then the booker, Jeff Singer of Montreal, who just got in trouble for like sexual harassment. So fuck you, buddy. Fuck your festival, dude. No one fucking liked it. Nah, he's actually been pretty nice to me. He was an asshole for a while. He's like a gatekeeper, but he's all right. Whatever. And not, I mean, fuck you, because you made me wait 3 years to do your stupid fucking festival, but whatever. So he like calls me, right? And he's calling me, and he's like, "Bro," he's like, "Did you tweet this?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Why would you do that?" He goes, "Rocky, you're gonna mess yourself up in this industry before you even get in it." And I, looking back now, I should have been like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing on your off time? You know, what's going on with you, man?" So, so I told him, I was like, "Look, I'm sorry." And I remember when I got off the phone, I felt so shitty for apologizing. I felt awful, and I was like, I'll never do it again. I'll never fucking apologize. I don't feel sorry. I said nothing wrong. I didn't say anything that was wrong, and it wasn't true. And that moment was kind of like a big moment in my life where I was like, "Yo, dude, let it fucking ride, son. Let it ride. Just do your shit." I've been kicked off tons of shows. I've been kicked off numerous TV shows. I mean, fired. Okay. But it all led me to where I am today. And where I am today is because of authenticity.
Hell yeah,
this is who I am. If you talk to me before this is how I speak. My accent don't change. Nothing changes. So it's like, this is how I sound all the time. And I don't change the way I do things. And that's the best part about all this, right? It's like my life is like great. Like, imagine if your life was waking up and you're looking to see if Chris D'Elia's tweeted so you can call him a rapist, right? Like, that just seems like a miserable way to live. I wake up, I smoke a fucking cigar, I play a game of Madden, I just fucking, count the zeros in our bank account. It's a good fucking day. Like, it's like every day I just wake up and I'm happy. Yes, and I don't have to change it. That's the best part about now having success. I don't have to change shit. Like, nothing changes, bro. This is who I am. And that's the best part about this industry. And that's what I love about it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the original question was of this, but I fucking love it. Okay?
I fucking love it. Amen. Amen to that. Authenticity and fuck everybody else who doesn't like it.
I don't know what the question was either, but
I have no idea.
Fuck yeah.
I have no clue what the question was about.
No clue.
I don't know if there was even a question.
I don't even remember the last question we asked. I couldn't tell you. If somebody said, "Hey, what was the?"
I think it was like Ralphie May political correctness, but I have no idea.
I don't even think it was
where we were.
I don't even think that was a question. That was just a statement at that point.
Do y'all know Barstool Sports? Do y'all know Barstool?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I did KFC Radio the other day. So KFC Radio is like one of their bigger podcasts. I think it's their second biggest podcast, and I'm a big fan of those guys, right? So we did it, and I came in, and I'm a big fan of them, right? So it's cool to meet people in this industry now that you're like a fan of, right? So it's like you don't do that very often in your life where you meet someone that you enjoy and you get to like do the thing. Like I listen to the podcast and now I'm on a podcast that I listen to. That's sick, right?
Hell yeah.
So we came out, I go, let's do a shot. So we just fucking pulled out 12 in the morning. We just fucking pull out, do a shot of fucking whiskey. And they asked me, they go, so do you like living in Austin? An hour and a half later, we got done talking. And they go, well, all that came from, do you like living in Austin? Like, that's what, it's like when y'all sit there, like, when people talk about, like, sitting, like, questions and stuff, like, I'm like, look, you got them. We can answer. But it's probably going to shift a lot, okay? Because once I get running, I just run, and then I'm like, fuck, where am I? Where the fuck am I?
And that's how it goes, man. And that's like, we have the questions just to have, like, some guideline, but most of the time, it just runs off course, and that's what it's all about.
Dude, honestly, that's like the best part. Yeah, that's the best thing. Is because this is exactly what a cigar, like having cigar conversation. It's exactly what it is. You ask one question, and then the conversation just fucking goes, and it goes off in all these different directions. I don't even know where the fuck you started, but it's all just having a cigar, pouring a glass of whiskey, and just talking, just getting to know each other, having a couple laughs, shooting the shit, and we've been talking for an hour and 40.
I think our longest podcast was an hour and a half. So this beats it
by far. We're at an hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah, and this is what's funny. As the glass gets lower, like it's more as I pour more glasses, I just start burning more bridges, and I just fucking love it. Like I literally like
just fuck everybody.
I love burning bridges. I love the smell of smoke. It's the fucking best smell. Burn them fucking all. Because these fucking nerds, they're just all, they're nerds and they're pussies. And that's the best thing now. And that's what I can't wait. So this right here, this is my garage, right? And this is, it's a brand new house. They hadn't painted it. And I was like, I don't care. And so we're going to put a podcast studio right there. So I got this, I'm building this whole thing out and it's going to be a podcast studio right there. And I just can't wait till the day. And I'll probably tweet about it at like Conan and shit. Like I'll probably like tweet like, "Hey, dude, I sat in my garage today and drank Buffalo Trace, smoked a cigar, and got more fucking listens than your goddamn show does." Like that's the day I cannot wait for. Like doing Rogan one day, just sitting there talking about doing DMT while we jack off a gorilla or whatever he wants to talk about. I don't give a shit, dude.
And then you get turned into Joe Rogan's like cartoon podcast clip that they do.
Yeah,
those are the best. Those are the best.
You should have a fucking. You should have a special if you after you finish doing comedy. You should have a fucking lineup of all the people you're gonna fucking fight. All the nerds. I'm fighting that first guy who punched me in the face. Then I'm fighting the Karen who wants to see a manager.
Her boyfriend.
I'm fighting that girl. I'm gonna just line them all up and have HBO specials.
Yeah, way more dollars and views than anything else.
The booker of Moon Tower Comedy Festival that didn't book me. They
fuck
booked the
that
top
guy. I'm fighting him.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck you. Fuck or not guy. Fuck your non-binary ass.
He's fighting everybody. Line them up. I'll fight them all the same night.
Swinging on everybody, dude. That's what sucks. What sucks is when I hate someone and I see them and they're nice. I'm like, fuck. Like I met a guy named John Chris. So he's this Facebook. He does Facebook videos. He does comedy as well. But he's like a very like Christian dude. Like he's like all of his videos are Christian based. And it's and I've had like a bad relationship with a bunch of people that are Christians. And so like I thought he was like a high and mighty guy where like he would meet someone like me who's more dirty and think he was better than me. And so I was like kind of standoffish meeting him. And now we're like good friends. And I told him, I was like, hey bro, I was like, when I first met you, I thought I was gonna hate you. And I was like, I thought you were gonna judge me. And then he was like, so you judged me before you met me, like you thought I was gonna do to you? And I was like, Yeah.
Fuck, you're right.
I was like, my bad. That was on me, dog. That was on me. I'll take that with it.
Yeah, if somebody says that, you're like, fuck, you're right. Man. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, you meet some people at night. Then you meet a bunch of them that are assholes, and like the ones that are assholes. Like I met a comic the other day, and he's fucking trash. He's an awful comic, and he's an awful person. And meeting him, I was like, if he's nice to me, I'm nice to him, right? Whether you're bad at comedy or not, like and I met him, and he was a mean person, and he's bad at comedy, and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you, dude. I was like, I fucking hate you. And then I would just talk to people, and I'd ease them into the conversation, be like, so blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, yeah, he's an asshole. I go, yes, he is an asshole.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Have you ever seen what was it, Billy Madison? When he's like, man, I'm glad I called that guy. You're that guy. You got a fucking list of them. Just fucking check. I hate that motherfucker.
Oh, Billy Madison?
I'm going to fight this fucking guy. I fucking hate that bitch. Get the list. Just cross them all.
They better hope I never get famous, dude. They better. I had a guy, my buddy Dustin Slade. He's a great, great comic. He's a great, great comic, and he's a clean comic, and he does everything right. He just does everything in the industry right. He does things the correct way, right? Just always the correct way. And so we were at Montreal, the festival, the big comedy festival, right? So we were there, and I'm talking about doing something. I don't know. It was something wild. We were going to do something wild. I don't know what it was. And he goes, yeah, I think it'll work out for you. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, Rocky, you do everything the wrong way, but it somehow always works out.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I have a picture of you drunk at Laughing Skull Festival with your shirt off, picking up the booker of the Tonight Show. Okay. And I was like, He goes, if I do that, I'm blacklisted from the industry. If you do it, you book 2 more TV shows. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty true. I was like, yeah. But again, it's being authentic, dude. People like that's why people like the Bert thing with the shirt off. That's just how that guy is. Yeah. Like, Bert ain't putting on an act, dude. I've worked with Bert. I worked with Bert Kreischer the first weekend he ever sold out. It was the week after the Machine story went viral, right? And I remember working. We had the same manager at the time. And I remember the manager got me on the gig, right? And so it's in New Jersey at the Stress Factory, and sitting in the green room, and Bert walks in. It just got shaved. Tom had just shaved for the weight loss competition.
Yeah.
And he's in there. He walks in, and it's like fucking slammed on a Friday. It's slammed out. And or the Thursday or Friday, I forget which one it is, but and Benny Bram walks in. He goes, "Hey man," he's like, "You're sold out for a night." And he goes, "Rest of the weekend, we got like 20 tickets left." And I remember Bert being like mind blowing, right? And in my mind, I just thought that Bert was just used to this because Bert had like 80,000 followers. So I was like, "Oh, 80,000 followers, you're making $1 million a year," which you're not. But it was weird to be like watch him, like that was the first, and he talked about it later on his podcast. Like that was the first week he ever sold out, like fully sold out.
He said that. And
then his whole life had turned around. I remember a unique moment when we were there. So he's out there, does his whole set. Fuck, everyone in the room knows him, which that's just when everyone knows you, dude. It just comedy becomes butter. It's just so easy, right? And he goes, guys, I don't mean to be rude. Like where do y'all know me from? He's like, do y'all know me from Conan? 2 people. Yeah. Yeah. What do you know me from? Trip Flip? Bert the Conqueror? 1 person. Yeah. Joe Rogan? Like 50%, right? And he goes, well, where do the rest of y'all know me from? And everybody goes, Facebook, the machine. And it was like, and then I remember him being like, holy fuck. Like, because he had the views, but he didn't know it translated the same way. And then I worked with him 2 weeks later in Buffalo, and we were there, and he's like, bro, I got to renegotiate my deals with these clubs because he had like a guaranteed rate with like some bonuses. But when you're making that kind of money, you don't do that. What you do is you do a door deal, and you just get like 80% of the door. And I mean, flash forward, 6 months later, he was doing theaters. And so it's so crazy to watch a guy like that. And it's so inspiring, too, because I'm like, again, you look at Bert. He had been in the industry forever. He had fucking production deals. He had a thing with Will Smith. He did all this other shit, but none of it ever really did anything. And a fucking clip that he stole from his special that no one watched on Showtime. And he stole it from his own specials. They won't give you the rights to post it. And posted it on his page and clearly blew his career up. Now he has just 2 Netflix specials in. He does a theater tour every year.
Yeah, man.
And so that's like things where you're like, but then also at that same time, when I flew to Buffalo, I couldn't do the Thursday show. And so I flew in to do Friday and Saturday. And so I was only making $400. You only make $100 as a feature. And my manager at the time, he's a dick. He didn't get me a hotel. There's no hotel involved. So $400 flying from New York to Buffalo, the flight already, you're down to $100 plus the hotel. And there was no Ubers in town, so you had a taxi, and taxis were like $40 a pop each time. Okay, and so I was making like no money. And I remember Bert at the end of the weekend, because I had told him, like, I was like, he asked me about where I'm staying, and I was like, I didn't have one I bought myself. He goes, hey man, he's like, you did a really good job. He's like, I got the club to give you an extra 100. He's like, I'm going to give you an extra 4. And so then I made money on that weekend. I paid my rent with that money.
Damn.
And so like that guy, like that's why like that guy, as I was posting some tour dates with him, I never toured with him. I don't know what the complication was with that. But like he's like a good dude. Like he had me on his podcast. I don't think I did good on his podcast. I didn't think I did well on his podcast. I was talking too fast. I talk fast a lot. And so I don't think the podcast was good. But still, for him having me on, I got 1,000 fans off that. And so like that's cool when you see someone like before they're famous and then they're good to you then, right? Because everybody's good after they're famous, right? Everybody gives you money. But like that's one thing I try to do now that I'm like making a little bit of money. I always pay my openers like above like what the club does, so the club pays, I give them a little extra on top every time. And it's cool to see like that kind of thing from a guy like Bert, who now is one of the top touring comics in the country,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually sent Bert, like there was a time where he was like shouting people out on his Instagram, and my brothers who turned me on to Bert Kreischer, they're like, you should start a podcast, Bert Kreischer, you should watch it. And they're like on his Instagram, he shouts people out all the time, and he loves cigars. So I said, hey man, let's send Bert, a bunch of cigars. We'll send him some whiskey and stuff. And I remember it was this previously September, and we sent it to him like a couple months ago, and then like a month later, Justin calls me. He goes, "Yo, Bert Kreischer just shouted us out on his Instagram." I'm like,
now this is a podcast. Who knows how to get my attention? They sent me a bag of fucking amazing cigars and some Johnny Walker. Yeah, let's podcast.
No fucking way, dude. So I actually was able to speak to him on Instagram for a little bit, but he's like, yeah, let's podcast. And I was like, wait, what? And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? He's like, yeah. He's like, I got some. It was right before his the Log Cabin special came out. So he's like, I got to do all this. He's like, but let's podcast. And I was like, fuck, man, that's pretty fucking gnarly. Just like him shouting us out on Instagram, it was like the biggest thing for us.
Oh yeah.
He was like, this is a podcast I can get down with. They sent me cigars and whiskey. Yeah, let's fucking do it. And I was like, that in itself like paid for everything. I'm like, damn, we can get you get Bert Kreischer. Yeah, that's sick.
I gave him, I gave him 15 Christophs. I dropped him off at the club, and he never texted me about it. So, Bert, you can go fuck yourself. But fuck you, Bert. Okay, no.
This is just a whole episode of Rocky just telling people to go fuck themselves.
We're gonna say Rocky Dale Davis burns bridges on the burn down.
Yeah. Rocky burns Bert. Yeah, that's the fucking title. That's the thumbnail. No, what's funny about Bert though? Again, though, just think about that. So both of y'all from Long Island.
Yeah.
So do y'all know Bobby Kelly, Robert Kelly? He's like a New York comic. He comes from Boston, but it's like you got Bobby Kelly, smokes crazy cigars. You got Bert Kreischer, loves cigars. You got Rogan and Nick from Foundation got into Rogan, which however Nick did that. Props to fucking Nick on that. So to even take Rogan, Kreischer, Segura enjoys a smoke. Bobby Kelly, D.L. Hughley, Earthquake, Bill Burr, right? All those guys, and none of them have like their own kind of fucking thing, Like I talked to a cigar shop, and they said that the day that Bill Burr went on and said that the La Aurora Sapphire, the blue one, I think, was his favorite cigar, they sold out of the box. Like they had like a box that hadn't sold in a month, and they fucking sold.
Damn.
And so you deal with like those guys, and I'm like, bro, like I'm sorry, like Joe, you should be smoking fucking 45 Padrones. That's all you smoke, dog. You got the money, just let it ride.
Let that bitch breathe.
Just have Padron, make your own fucking shit, dude. So it kills me. I just don't understand why they haven't gotten into this industry. I think they may, but that's why I'm happy, about with my thing. I'm so happy to have my own cigar coming out, just simply to be like when I do Rogan, right? It'll be so cool. Just go on Rogan and be like, hey, dude, this is my fucking cigar, son.
Yeah,
you want to smoke? You want to smoke the fucking storyteller, dude? This is the shit, I don't understand about a bunch of comics though. We monetize everything else. Like comics, we never leave $1 on the table. Segura, is one of the best at monetizing. but we don't monetize like stuff like that, like cigars, which doesn't make sense to me. I know it's a tough industry.
The cigar industry is like, it's a very antiquated industry, man. And that's like podcasts like this. It's like, you don't really find too many. Like, there's a lot of cigar podcasts out there, but they just do strictly cigars. And there's not really like the Hot Ticket, us, and like, I don't know really anyone else. That
Also, hold on, Hot Ticket. I want to be on your podcast. Okay, so
I'll let you know Chris and Corey personally, so we'll let him know for sure.
I want to be on the podcast, and we'll talk shit about the burn down, dude. I fucking hate this podcast. Hey, no, hold on before we do that, man. Fuck the Hot Ticket, dude. That podcast sucks, dude.
Fuck them.
That podcast sucks. I go on one podcast to burn the last bridge. Yep. It's like I'm just like when you're jumping that little game where you would jump from the level to level, and then you just run out and you're like, oh shit, no.
That's exactly it.
But that's true though. That's what I love about like you guys. Like even like the logo behind you, I was like sick. It's like it's you know some like I couldn't listen to a podcast. That's why I tried to not do it at the beginning. I did do it too much at the beginning of this one. I tried to not go too like fanboy into cigars, but it is cool to talk about them. But like if you're just going to break down the flavor of a cigar for like 2 hours, that's probably not interesting. But if it's like incorporated, like Rogan is really smoking a lot of cigars now. And like even Bill and Bert for a while when they were in person smoking, that was an awesome fucking podcast. That's like a really, really good podcast. I feel like cigars, I'd say the big reason like cigars are great because if I'm talking, right, we're having a good time and like, you know, it's keeping me like I'm engaged. It's giving me something to like do with my hand, right? You know, and so I hit my cigar and then you talk. So it's almost like it passes it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, and that's the big and it's just the cigar is very behind the time. So you know we're super grateful for because we've been doing this for over 2 years now. We hit over 100 episodes a couple weeks ago. And like I said, there's really not too many because we didn't want to just do cigars. Like we wanted to have like this what we're doing right now. We want to be able to smoke. We want to talk about cigars, but we also want to know who we're talking to. We want to get them known personally, and also speak some stuff about cigars and why you like it. And I think that's why people like to listen to us and watch us because those are the same people that want to do the same thing, but there's really no outlet for it. And
right.
And like you said, like things, I look back on the history of our podcast and we always talked about getting our own cigar, but because originally our first idea together, because we had like a little Instagram following a few years ago when we wanted to do like a cigar subscription service, but that was like way out of line. And then we wanted to do we wanted to compete with Cigar Aficionado. Like we take all these pictures, we write all these cigars, let's do a magazine with no ads. And we're like, dude, this is the 21st century. No one reads fucking magazines. And then we were kind of like on like a little,
and you didn't want to sell dry cigars,
Exactly. So and at the time we kind of
burn another one.
we kind of just like chilled for a little bit, and that's when my brothers were. I was watching podcasts on YouTube. I was watching Rogan. I was watching Your Mom's House. I was watching Bert, and I was like, yo, just like let's like do a podcast like this. No one does this shit, and that's what it is now. So we're getting our own cigar too as well. So we're in the process. We just finished getting the label done. We're in the middle of getting our own box set up. So it's just like crazy. We have our own website. We have like a whole membership thing. It's just like crazy how little things come together by, like you said, just doing the same shit the right way, and just like eventually things will come out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly, man. And it's like it's funny because with like the Cigar Aficionado and like stuff like that subscription service. I'm glad y'all skipped out on that. That seems like a shout out to Brian at Provide. That shit seems so much work goes into that.
Dude, I mean, fuck that. Like this was like not 4 years ago, but like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and this was before like they already blew up because you have My Cigar Pack, Luxury Cigar Club, Privada.
I like Luxury a lot. Luxury's cool.
They're great. They do a good job. We work with them. And but we had Excel spreadsheets. We broke down everything. We did this. We did that. We had different tiers. And Justin and I were like, dude, this is a lot of work. Plus, we got to get a tobacco license. And we're in New York State. I don't know if this is going to pan out for us, bro. And he's like, yeah, probably not. And we kind of just scrapped it.
And it's funny because we kind of, we had originally, we're going to do the cigar subscription service monthly. And then got away from that, did the podcast. But then we came back to a subscription service, but we have a different flavor on it. Instead of doing a subscription service where we're sending you cigars, now we have the website subscription where you get discounts to our partners and you get entered into monthly giveaways. So it's like we started with a subscription service, got away from it, but then came back to it in a different element.
Because people in the cigar industry love giveaways. Like they love winning free shit. So I said, dude, let's just make like a couple bucks a month and we'll do a monthly giveaway and we'll go live and we'll just give shit away. And it's been a hit so far.
Also, I just realized while you were talking, I mistaked Cigar Aficionado with Cigars International. I do want to apologize for that. I
just build that bridge back and then burn this.
Yeah. Cigar Aficionado, I'm actually, no one reads your fucking magazine. I am a big fan, though. I would love to be on the cover. You guys haven't responded to my DMs, but I would like to be on the Cigars International. Y'all can kiss my ass. Y'all sent me a dry box of cigars.
Oh, but, damn, son. Damn.
But, yeah, son. They sent me a fucking dry ad. That shit was cracking. It was awful. Damn. But Cigar Aficionado, yeah, but it's like, that's the same thing with that, though. Like, I feel like there's just cigars, I feel like it's like comedy. Like, comedy's changed so much now, but like, I feel like it's like comedy 2 years ago. Where like we're in this medium of like they just like people are like, do you want to do morning radio? Like, can you do morning radio to sell tickets? And I'm like, do you think anyone's listening to morning radio and going to buy tickets that night to come see me?
Unless you do also, like Tom Segura.
I don't want
unless you do it like Tom Segura.
Yeah, that's why I did Birmingham, and I had like this like great Birmingham. The clip did like 100,000 likes, right? Like, and it did great. The clip got more views than the fucking actual news did. Like, no one watches the news. Crazy, and the people that are watching it, I don't want them to come to the fucking show. Because you're watching the news at 6 a.m. You aren't going to enjoy my show. Don't come. So it's like, I feel like cigars the same way, where I feel in the next couple of years it may change, where they start adapting to this medium. And like they start realizing like the value and like getting your cigars on podcasts. Like, I feel like Bert and them, I think cigars.com is I think it's cigars.com has reached out and they do something with them now. I feel like that's the smartest way to promote. It's like a magazine. It's cool and fine and dandy, but it's like at the same time, it's like, dude, if you can get your cigar on where people are watching, especially like where you're like with a Bert demographic or a Rogan demographic, people that would smoke cigars, that's a far better way to promote. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the industry seems like it's kind of like older at the moment, where they're still in the same way. They're like, no, let's get a big ass sign. Let's put a hot chick smoking a cigar. That'll sell them. Yeah. It's like, or put it on a podcast where the listenership is males, 35 to 45. Let's do that.
Exactly.
That's exactly the point, man. I mean, our demographic really, it ranges from like 25 to like 50. That's like the cash cow for us. Like, that's the majority of the people that listen and follow and watch us is like that demographic.
Do you know something funny? My shit. Hold on, before this. So let me. Do you guys want to know why I fucking hate Amazon? No, I'm joking. I'm like, this is for Amazon. It's CBS and NBC. No. My demographic before I popped was it was like 80% women, right? So it was like 80% women, and it was like age groups 18 to 25. That was my demographic. And then I popped, and my demographic changed to 35 to 45 men. That's my demographic now. And then what's funny though is everyone thinks I'm 35. I'm 28. Yeah, and so it makes me so mad though, because I'm like, I am like an old man. It's like I go to a club, I'm like, fuck, it's loud in here. But then you'll see me at a cigar shop with dudes that are 70, me and, 5 guys that are 70. I'm holding court and we're drinking, we're smoking, fucking sucking on some Werther's candies.
Hell yeah.
And smoking a cigar, That's what's fun about cigars. Is like the demographic of people is so weird. Like, I'm the youngest guy in a cigar shop every time. Like, normally, like I'm usually like the youngest guy. And so, but it's cool though, because those old guys, like, it's cool to talk to people. And when I was in trouble during the pandemic, all my cigar friends gave me money. Like, I didn't ask for it; they just gave it because I was really bad, man. Yeah. And they all gave me money, and they go, we're a cigar community, we stick together, and it's like that's dope. That's the way to live.
That's what it's about.
I mean, the amount of like cigars and accessories, like New Air sent me a freaking humidor. Like, We get cigars, we get all those types of free shit, and it's just like, and they don't want anything in return. We're like, hey, let's send you. They're like, no, we don't. Like, we're not asking for anything in return. We just want to give you stuff. We obviously send stuff out, but like, it's the same. Like, people, like, we have like stickers and shit, and people are like, hey, man, I listen to your podcast. I really like it. I'm like, hey, let me give you some stickers. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, free of charge. Here you go. Send some stickers. And it's just like,
it's a great community.
Yeah, it's just the best community around. Everyone's nice. We always say, like, 99% of the people in the cigar community are good people, and there's always that 1%, and those are the people that can fucking kick rocks, and like you come across.
Oh, you're talking about that one guy. You go to a cigar shop with your friends, and you sit there, and you may have one guy that chimes in every now and then. He's a cool dude. You got the guy that's running the counter. He's been there for 45 years. He ain't left that seat, you know. And then you got that one fucking dude though that's just butts into the conversation, and he just keeps talking to you, and you're like, yeah. And you talk to your friends, yeah, no, I get you. And then you're like, bro, I don't fucking like you. I don't know you. Leave me alone. Go sit in the other chairs. Go sit in the other fucking chairs.
Dude, there's always like, and he's always the guy, and he's not even, he's like on the border of like your conversation circle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have us guys, right? And there's like a circle. It's like an 8-foot circle. And he's like right on the edge. He's like at that 9 foot. And he's just sitting there and he's listening. And you'll say something, and you'll be talking about a story, and you'll say a fact, okay? And you'll be off by like a smidge, right? For instance, you say something, okay, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It was like 1490 or something. And he's the fucking guy. He goes, oh, it was 1492. It was 1492. I'm like,
yeah. Who the like, fuck? Leave me alone, Ed.
What? Like, he has to correct you. And I'm like, who are you? Yeah. What are you? You're not even in our conversation. You're like,
and he doesn't say anything else.
He doesn't, oh, it was 1492. I go, okay. Yeah, and then you go back to your conversation.
Everyone at the shop knows him, by the way. Because then you talk to other people at the shop that are cool, and everyone knows that fucking guy. Everyone knows that guy. And like, oh, he's the worst. Like, I went to one in Denver one time. I went to the Smoker's Cave, I think is the name. I think it's Smoker's Cave. It's a great lounge. They have a private area. It's 24 hours in the back. You have a key, like a little key fob. Oh, wow. And so it's fucking sick. So I was there when I recorded my album, which is all the videos you see online. So I was there during Thanksgiving 2 years ago. And so, like, you obviously can't do shit on Thanksgiving. A bunch of shit's closed. I made friends with this guy named Bill, and great guy. And so he's like, yeah, man, just let me know when he's like, I'm up here every day, all day. He goes, so you just give me a text. I'll come fob you in and get you in the place. And so I was like, cool. And so, but I came there before, like a day before, and I was sitting in the fucking living room, or like the first area, not the members lounge. And I asked them to turn on like the UFC fights. And the guy goes, we don't watch that bullshit around here. It was like spring, like it was like a baseball game, but like an out of like season, like it was like a overseas baseball game or some shit. And I'm like, it's like, I'm like, what? I'm like, there's 5 TVs. He's like, we don't turn that on here. And I told like Bill about that. He's like, oh, they got fucking stuff. We all hate that guy.
You ever notice that like those guys always sit by themselves?
Always.
They're always by themselves. I'm like, there's a fucking reason why that guy's by himself. Okay.
I was just
those guys are the worst.
I was just saying, like on a previous episode, we were talking about not necessarily. Oh, what am I doing? Not necessarily.
No, I say, pull more than that, bro.
You got a little bit for the send-off cheers.
No,
dude, you got to drink a little bit more so you can trash. Let's trash the Hot Ticket podcast. Let's burn the
motherfuckers.
Yeah, you gotta get a little bit for the send-off cheers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
oh, your pretty blonde hair, you little piece of shit. Fuck you, dude.
Chris and Corey, you guys,
you Norwegian-looking motherfucker.
They're gonna fucking shit their bed, but
oh, it's great.
But I was in Cape Cod a couple weeks ago, and I went into a cigar lounge, and I brought my brothers. I have 2 younger brothers, and we go in. I'm like, let me look up a cigar lounge. I go check it out. I'm like, oh, this place looks nice. So we go in. It's not, it's a nice little establishment, and my brothers just want to hang out. I want to show them a good time. So then we go in, and it's this guy who walks in. And usually, like, when you go into a cigar shop or a lounge, you're like, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Like, friendly. This guy just comes in and goes, licenses. And I'm like, okay. And, I give him, I'm 30. My brother's 28. My other brother's 22. So he's like, oh, this one looks young. I'm like, okay, all right, sure. Check license.
Whatever, yeah.
So then we go on the humidor. And he's like, "Hey, you guys need any help?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay." My brother's like, "No, we're pretty well versed." And then he just I don't know if you've ever been to like a cigar shop where they just stand in the lounge and just in the humidor and just watch you. And he's just sitting there, not saying anything, and just watching us browse. So I'm like, oh, motherfucker. I'm like, I hate when people do this. So then there's like this Gurkha, it's $70, and my brother goes, "Oh, why is this $70?" And he takes it out of the thing. The guy goes, "Can't you read the sign? Ask for assistance." And I'm like, "Really, dude? Like,
bruh,
this is how you act?" And so my brother's like, "Okay, sorry. Why is it $70? Oh, it's dipped in cognac, blah 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 blah." Then my littlest brother is on the other side, and he's checking out the Avo Ritmo. It's in a little tube. He pops it open. He just wanted to see what was inside. He's not doing anything wrong. It's in cellophane. So he opens it up, and the guy goes, "Don't open that." And my brother's like, "Okay, sorry." And my brother looks at me like, "Am I wrong?" I'm like, "Okay, no." So then I'm like, "All right, let me try and break the ice with this guy." So I'm like, "Hey, man, what's your favorite cigar? What do you like to smoke?" He goes, "Oh, I thought you didn't want my help." I go, "I don't."
Bruh.
I don't. I just wanted to ask what your prep, and he just starts going off. But I'm like, I literally just like grabbed the first 3 cigars that I saw and said, "Let's get the fuck out of here." Because I'm like, sorry, bros. That was the worst experience I ever had at a cigar lounge ever. Like you don't. He's like talking. I've been in the industry for 30 years.
No, you should have done is you should have quoted Rocky Del Davis. Said, "Fuck that guy."
Fuck you. I'm about to put this. Fuck that guy. Put this place on my podcast and bring this motherfucker down.
Dude, there's a couple I used to live in Vegas, and Vegas has the best opportunity. So Fuego is great, but like, it's like, there's one lounge, and they have like an outside seating area, and it's dope. I will say Arizona to me has the best lounges. They have one, it's like Creek Cigars or Cabin Cigars. It's like in Scottsdale, like Northern. It's like an outside seating area. Crazy selection. It's fucking sick. I love it. I love Arizona Cigar. The Fox Cigar Bar is sick as fuck. All of them are great. No. But I was in one time, and this girl, she was like in there, and you could tell she just like working. She has no idea what she's talking about. And I go, "Do y'all have the Padron with the black label?" And she goes, "Padron doesn't make a black label." And I go, "Yeah, it just came out. It's a black one. It has like a black label." She goes, "They don't do that." And I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, you realize I've smoked one of these? Because Padron has like, I don't know what it's exactly called, but it's like a black label. It's like black on it. So we're the only ones that have black on it. And it came out for a bit. It was like one of their stronger ones, right? And they go, she goes like, "They don't do that." And then my buddy Kane, who had one, and we showed it to her, and she goes, "I think it's a fake." And I'm like, "Dude, you're the fucking dumbest person." It's like, just say you don't have it. Just say we don't have it. Just say we don't have that, and I would be like, "Yeah, you probably don't. It's not. I haven't seen it very many places." And then you're gonna fucking argue with me, and I show you one. Like, it's fake, and it's like, yeah. Or you can look at the Padron website, and it's on there.
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
right.
Just Google that shit. Bitch.
They fucking they kill me with like, people just kill me with like random fucking, like, when people just talk randomly like cigar shops and just say like stupid shit. But at the same time, you meet some fucking great people at cigar shops.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I've gotten so much stuff. I've financed stuff. I've produced stuff through people I've met at cigar shops numerous times. I got in the Comedy Cellar because I smoked cigars with a guy. And it's such a cool, way to like I guess it just encourages conversation, and it's always something fun to do. And when you travel across the country, so what I'm doing now, I'm doing a Sprinter van. I'm buying a Sprinter van. I saw Zeno Platinum did it. They made like a Sprinter van, and they turned it into like a cigar lounge. So they put like a exhaust fan in it and everything. So what I'm doing, I'm going to get a Sprinter van, and I'm going to turn the back, put cabins chairs in it, and then bring my 2 openers. They're going to swap off driving. I'm going to put a rabbit air in the back of it, put a TV, Xbox, and so then when we go to places, we'll stop and we'll have that pull-out patio. We'll sit outside if we want, smoke cigars before the show, and then we're going to get sponsors on the side, right?
Hell yeah.
And put like sponsors and have everybody take pictures in front of it. I'd probably get the whole thing fucking paid for through sponsors, because of my following. By the way, that's the best thing, is having a following. So like being at a cigar lounge, like I had a guy that was being a dick to me once, the cigar lounge a couple of weeks ago. And his friends were nice. He was an asshole. He kept trying to like insult comedy, or whatever, and say that it's not the same way it used to be. and Red Fox was the best, and it's pussy now or whatever, whatever that dumbass was saying. And then his friend goes, let me look you up, man. And he looked me up. And he goes, dude, you got 125,000 followers. And I was like, he goes, dude, you got the blue check mark. I go, yeah, man. I go, yeah, I've been shadow banned. So it's not as much as it should be, And his friend was just like, what? I'm like, yeah, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, guys.
Fuck
Asshole.
you, dude.
Man,
and then you get free shit. You get free shit all the time through having a follower.
Yeah.
That is the best.
It's the best shit
You
ever.
just get tons of free shit. It's the best. I love having a following. I'm like, I fucking love it.
It's the best.
People go, what's the best part about having a following? I'm like, getting some free shit, and all you got to do is
free
post
shit.
it.
That's all you got to do.
And every company except fucking Viaje, Viaje and Padron. I think Sony like came back to me, and Padron and Viaje both won't respond.
Fucking wild.
But like every company responds though, because I have a following now, and I'm like, look, I'll throw you guys a shout out. I want some little, special treatment.
That's it.
I want
That's
a
it.
little private tour, little something for the boy,
So listen. So we've been talking for over 2 hours. This is absolutely by far the longest episode. This is incredible, and we appreciate your time so much. We thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. It was great. Before we, I have to. Before we send it off, I don't know if you're familiar with something called a rookie move on the Burn Down podcast. Okay, so I'll let me educate you a little bit.
Yeah.
Rookie move, hashtag rookie move, is
I
when
feel like y'all are Cosbying me right now. I don't like this.
no. So hashtag
what's
rookie
going
move,
on,
and you,
dude?
as a cigar smoker, you've fucking done it. I guarantee you've done it. Hashtag rookie move is when you drop ash on yourself. Okay? Tap into everybody. Tap into the best of us. If you're a cigar smoker and you say you haven't done it, you're full of fucking shit. Okay? So Eric and I have a little bet going on. Whoever has, because it's a big thing for us. We take a negative, and we turned it into a positive. We applaud you when you drop ash on yourself. Okay? So Eric and I have a little bet going on that whoever drops ash on themselves the most has to wear a dress for an episode. And Eric just fucking rookie moved on himself.
God damn it.
2 hours into the episode, right before the send-off.
I wasn't even smoking. My finger hit it.
He fucking rookie moves. And what's crazy is we made this bet beginning of the year. Whoever has the most rookie moves has to wear a dress during an episode. And he had one for a while. And I just got my first one, the last interview we did. And now Eric's got his second one. So I'm going to go get the fucking board. And I'm putting it up there.
Dude, I'm so
There you go, baby.
Dude,
you go.
I've been so diligent. I'm like, all right, let me tap this. I wasn't even smoking it because it was so short. So I was just holding on it. And I was doing something and my finger hit it. And I was like, all right, it's a little bit. And then just, the dick in me wanted to be like, kind of just like wipe it off and not tell Justin. But I'm like, man, I got to fucking say it because I'm like, all right, all over me, dude.
So we have
There you
a
go.
fucking scoreboard.
Fuck.
And Eric
Shit.
now has...
Hey, if I'm gonna do a rookie move, it's gonna be with Rocky Dale Davis. So
True,
I'm not even mad about it.
There you
So,
go.
hashtag rookie move for your boy.
Let's
I'll take it.
fucking go.
Damn, son, I'm okay with it. It's Rocky.
I'm totally okay with it.
I'm all right.
I think that that seals off one of the best, the longest episode interview by far.
Probably the most realist conversation that we had.
This
honestly.
was fantastic, and there wasn't a better way to send it off than you doing a fucking rookie move.
Hey man,
Dude, my head's gonna get too big. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be brutal when I get famous. I'll tell you why. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've been doing a bunch of podcasts now, like lately, like on my own. And so I've gotten used to like podcast format. And so we just did KFC and like we murdered KFC radio at Barstool. And like y'all like being like, this is fucking great, this is real. My head's gonna get too. I'm gonna walk on a podcast and be like, you know what it is, bitch.
You're gonna walk in. You're gonna be like, "Fuck you guys, we're doing fucking."
Shut the fuck up! I got this shit now, dude. Turn your mics off. And I just start going like, you want to hear why I hate NBC, bro? Jeff Bezos is a bitch, bro. Howard Stern never liked you, bitch. Like I just
whatever podcast you were on the previous week, you could be like, let me tell you about this podcast on. Fuck these guys. I hate this damn show.
God damn.
It's like my head's gonna get too big. I'm getting too many compliments, bro. I get too many fucking. It's just a matter of time before I'm like, you know what? I am the star of this fucking team, dude. I want max cap salary.
Let's
make me the highest paid podcaster.
I fucking love it,
Dude,
man. There wasn't. We couldn't have ended this better than you,
man.
fucking rookie movie.
I'm okay with it. Hashtag rookie move. Rocky Del Davis. You know what it is.
You know a rookie move I used to do? I don't know if it's a rookie move, but like something embarrassing I used to do with cigars. I used to smoke them like this.
So
I'd sit there and I'd be like,
no. You're like one of them French ladies.
Do you sit down when you pee when you did that too?
Yeah, I do. I have sciatica, so that's very rude of you to mock this.
Fuck your sciatica.
No, my buddy was like, he goes, why don't you just twist the balls while you do it too?
Make sure you lick the shaft while you're at it.
That's fucking great.
Oh my god!
Good shit.
Rocky Del Davis, thank you so much for joining us here on the Burnout. We had a fucking
thank you guys, man.
Blast, man.
We had a blast. You. So until next time, next time we'll be down in Austin, Texas, in your brand new spanking podcast when it comes along.
It's gonna be fucking great, dude. I've already got it set up. We're gonna shoot it like I Am Athlete. I love the way they shoot. I don't know if you were Brandon Marshall, Brett Taylor, and Chad Ochocinco. So the way they shoot, we're going to do that, but in a garage, like kind of like garage, almost garage. Like it's going to be like a big metal building, but I'm going to have like a bunch of classic cars in the background. Because once I get money, I'm getting a 70 Chevelle, 72 Corvette, Bronco. I'm getting all that like old classic stuff. And then we're just going to fucking smoke stogies. We're going to smoke the Storyteller, brought to you by Christoph in Pravada. So that will be coming out, I think, honestly, in August. So, and we got 10,000 coming out. They'll go quick, people. So I'll come back on when they're out as well. I'll send you guys a sample. And, dude, the Hot Ticket podcast. I love you guys. I can't be. I was going to be mean, man. I'm like, I love your podcast. It's like,
I fucking love it.
Hey, man, you got a cigar coming out in August. We're supposed to get a cigar out in August. So you send us yours. We'll send you ours. And we'll call it a day.
Yeah, and then I'll wait to see how y'all's review of mine is, and then I'll judge how I do y'all.
I'm gonna do the review for shock value only. I'm gonna be like, this cigar fucking blows.
This cigar blows.
Don't buy this shit. Waste of money.
Yeah, and I'll be like, I wish somebody would have burned this cigar factory to the ground from burn down. This cigar is trash, dude. The rookie mistake for both of them, dude.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
Oh my goodness!
So until next time, we appreciate you, brother. Cheers, man.
Thank you, brother.
All your endeavors.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank y'all.
Let's fucking go.
Oh. 2 hours and 21 minutes.
Let's go, kid.
I love it, baby. That was a good time, man.
That was
Thank y'all so much.
Awesome.